Hello everyone, it's time for Phys.Ed.School. Take your piece of equipment out on the floor and get ready to go to school. Before we begin, let's go over the rules of Phys.Ed.School. Number 1, work hard to get better. Number 2, be kind to others. And number 3, listen and do. And when you see this sign and hear this sound, it means it's time to stop and look for the next trick to do. Here we go. In Phys.Ed.School, a kindergarten student tries to throw their beach ball up in the air and catch it. They also try to do that without moving their feet. In Phys.Ed.School, a first grade student tries to throw their beach ball up in the air, let it bounce once, and then catch it. How many times can you catch it before you hear the school bell? In Phys.Ed.School, a second grade student tries to hit the beach ball back and forth between their hands. How many hits can you get in a row? In Phys.Ed.School, a third grade student makes their hands into the shape you see on the right and then hits the ball up in the air with two hands. In Phys.Ed.School, a fourth grade student puts their hands together and tries to hit the ball off of their forearms up in the air. In Phys.Ed.School, a 5th grade student tries to dribble their beach ball. Try to strike it with your hand and make it bounce up high enough where you can strike it again. In Phys.Ed.School, a middle school student can balance the ball on the back of their hand. How long can you keep it there? In Phys.Ed.School, a high school student tosses the ball up high, claps their hands as many times as they can, and then catches it. How many claps can you get? In Phys.Ed.School, a college student puts the ball in one hand and then strikes the ball out of their hand with the other hand. How far can you make it go?
It's showtime!
Now it's your turn to make up a trick. Use the equipment safely and make up a trick that you can show the rest of the class. Nice job, everyone. You graduated from Phys.Ed.School. Now, freeze!